Hi everyone, and thank you for attending our demo. My name is Terry, and I'm going to walk you through the basics of Wild Apricot. I'm also here with Elaine, who will be answering your questions. So this demo is intended for those of you who've already started a free trial with us and want to learn more about what you can do with our software. Now, it's okay if you haven't started a free trial yet, you can still get a lot out of this session. If you would like to sign up for a trial, it's pretty simple. Just go to our homepage, wildapricot.com, and click the Try It Free for 30 Days button. And you can sign up there, and we don't require any credit card information, and the trial has the full functionality of the paid version. Okay, so let's start with a little presentation about what Wild Apricot is, and then we'll dive into what the software can do for you. Now, here's a little overview of everything we're going to cover in this session. So as I mentioned, a brief overview of what Wild Apricot is, then I'll talk a little bit about our themes, our website builder, how to manage your contacts, then we'll talk about emails and newsletters, payment processing, events, and questions. And at any time throughout this presentation, you can ask any questions you'd like in the chat box, and we'll try to chat back as they come up. I'll also leave some time at the end for any extra questions as well. Now, we've got a lot to cover, so let's dive in. So here's a little bit about Wild Apricot. We are a membership management software provider, which means that we've created a way to automate a ton of the administrative tasks that come with running an association or club. We are also the #1 ranked membership management software provider for 3 years running, as rated by Capterra, an organization that rates software. We currently serve over 17,000 nonprofits, associations, clubs, and other membership-based organizations, which includes everything from public health associations, tennis clubs, alumni associations, business groups, chambers of commerce, motorcycles clubs, museum societies, and so many more. So now you know a little bit about who we're for, and hopefully this includes yourself. I want to give you a better idea of what we do. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of different people in this demo, but I'm hoping that the majority of you can relate with what I'm about to go through. You're either running your organization all by yourself, or you're doing all of the admin work for your organization. Basically, you're someone who ends up juggling a bunch of the nitty-gritty tasks that are necessary evils, in your opinion, to keep your organization on its toes. This includes writing and sending emails, creating and coordinating events, processing all payments like member dues and event fees, donations, and handling the financial reports. Plus, you have to update the website and handle new contacts, or go in all the time and update old records. If this sounds like you, you've come to the right place. I'm going to show you how, with Wild Apricot, you can clear your schedule of virtually all these tasks and literally never worry about them again. So now imagine how life-changing eliminating all of those tasks can be for you. We actually have a lot of our customers telling us that it has, in fact, changed their life. And that's actually the reason why Wild Apricot was created in the first place. Our founder, Dmitry Buterin, had firsthand experience in managing all these tasks in the nonprofit world and thought that there must be a better way. After searching and searching, he really couldn't find a better way, so he decided to build it himself. And, well, that's what Wild Apricot is today now. So in a nutshell, we take all of your tasks, whether they be completed by hand, in Excel, through Outlook, Word, or whatever, and we put them all into one system that automates everything. So just looking at this diagram, imagine how much time you would save. Think about how you'll be able to focus all that time on building up the value of your organization and focusing on accelerating your growth rather than all these administrative tasks which may bog you down. I've actually put together a short presentation on who we are and what we do, and I'll give that to you afterwards so you can go through it on your own time if you're interested. But let's skip right into what our software can do for you. All right, so I'm going to show you Wild Apricot now, and I think it's best if we start with our themes. So right now I'm just going to log into my account. I've already created a free trial. I'll send out instructions afterwards on how to create a free trial if you haven't done this already. So here we are in the admin panel. This is the back end of Wild Apricot, where you can organize and set up all your tasks to be completely automated. But first, let's start with creating our website, and to do that, let's pick our theme. You may have a website already, or you're thinking of building one and you're unsure of where to start. You are not a designer yourself, so you're probably used to going back and forth with a webmaster to make different changes or updates to the templates and designs, and that can take a lot of time. Now, on the other hand, Wild Apricot comes with pre-built themes so that you can set up your new website in just a few minutes. I'd also like to note that our themes are mobile friendly, so they'll appear correctly on phones and tablets and things like that. Now, we have over a dozen themes that are ready to go for any organization type. So say you're an art studio, you can choose our showcase theme, which you can see here, or you're a club of hikers, our Terra theme might be perfect for you. A business group, on the other hand, you might want to go with Skyline. But whatever theme you choose, there are many color and style variations built right in right away, so you don't have to go through and design everything yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through a few more to show you all the variants. It's easy to see these for yourself in a free trial. I got here from clicking website, then theme, and here we are, and we have a list of themes. And it's easy to preview any one of them. Just click on the one you'd like to preview and then select Apply Selected Theme and then Preview. Okay, so here you can navigate through the theme itself to check it all out. It won't become your new theme until you actually click the button that says Make this theme permanent. And just as a side note, if you are more advanced at coding, all of our themes are completely customizable in CSS and HTML. So I'm not going to actually apply this theme. I'm just going to stick with the default theme that appears when you open a trial. So now let's actually go and look at the website that this trial is created with this theme. So all I did was, again, I created a trial and I went ahead beforehand and changed a few things. Like you can see that I changed the name of my site and I added this logo, but virtually everything else was built automatically. So let's take a look at the homepage. And as you can see, there's quite a few different content blocks and things here. And when I go into the back end with just a few clicks, I can change any of this content to say whatever I like. I can add or remove pieces to tell members about events or link them to a directory or pretty much anything. And as you can see, I now have a ready to share website. It's as simple as that, and updating it isn't any more complicated. If you can use Microsoft Word, then you can update everything on this website yourself. You can also see at the top here that I even have my own custom domain name. It's wademo.wildapricot.org. And you can use any domain name that you already have, or even set one up without the .wildapricot.org bit if you like. Another thing I'd like to mention is that we do have a plugin for WordPress. I'm not going to go into details right now, but on our help site, we do have a lot of information about this if you want to go into that on your own time. Okay, so now you can see this web page has many different sections. Here we have some recent news, some updates, some images, a menu, and I'm going to show you how you can easily change this all within your admin panel. So first, go to your admin view, and then navigate to website, and then site pages, and you can see that your home page comes up right away. So to edit this, just click Edit, and then you want to click the Gadgets button, and now you can see a number of gadgets come up on your left-hand side, and you can simply drag a gadget anywhere you like onto the page. So here I have a content gadget, and for instance, if I drag it right here, it will appear there, and then I can start typing whatever I like. So a content gadget is just a gadget that makes it very easy to add text or images, but there are a number of other gadgets you can also use, such as you can add a gadget which has a Google Maps within it and put that on your contact page. Or you can add a donation tracking gadget that will show you how far you are to reaching your donation goals. You can also add as many pages and gadgets as you like. Most people like to create blogs and forums on their website. And you can even add member-only pages with special content that only paying members can access. So let's take a look at a real-life example from one of our clients. And here we have the Pittsboro Business Association. And they're one of our clients, and you can see on the bottom here, powered by Wild Apricot membership software. And let's take a look at the page they've created. So they're actually using a very similar theme to what I just showed you. They've customized it a little bit to be their own style, which is okay. And right at the top here, you can see they've added their logo and a message, let's grow together. They have their member login area right at the top here. If we scroll down a bit, you can see that they've added a Facebook feed here, and they have member benefits displayed right away on their front page. And they have this Join Us page, which shows all the different levels of membership that someone can sign up for. So they've created basically all of this with all of our pre-made templates and our drag and drop gadgets. And I just wanted to show you this because the point is you can build a fully complete website without a ton of effort and get it up and running very quickly. Okay, so let's move on a bit. So we've taken a look at the website. Now let's start talking about all the tasks Wild Apricot can automate for you. So firstly, you probably have a list of contacts and members for your organization, and that may live in Excel or Outlook or even on paper or somewhere else. So I'm going to show you mine. It's in Excel, and as I open it up, here you can see that I have my user ID, my first name of the contact, the email, the membership level, and a few other fields. So the first thing I want to do is clean this up, and then I can import it into Wild Apricot. And now why should I do this? Because Wild Apricot stores all this information very securely in the cloud, which means that you can access this list anytime, anywhere, even on your phone, via our app, or on any desktop that you log in. So all you have to do is log into your account and voila, you can access your members from anywhere, which is great. The other thing this does is allows your members themselves to update their contact information through your Wild Apricot website. Each of your members can create their own profile with their own unique login information and can then access their profile from anytime, anywhere, even on their phone in a mobile browser like you can yourself. So imagine never having to manually update any more email addresses or name changes or whatever from your members because they can go in and do that themselves when their information changes. Okay, so let's go back to importing our database. So to do this, go to your admin panel again, click Members, Import, and just again make sure that your list is all cleaned up. Otherwise you might get an error. So I've actually already imported my list, so let's just take a look at a sample member page. So I'm going to click on my contacts and then list, and then I'm going to type in my own name and click on it. And this is my member page. So here you can actually see all the information about all of your members. So I've actually added some fields myself that I wanted to include in my member page, and you can do this with any of your members as you choose, or all of your members if you choose. So want to know their food preferences or their Twitter handle or website or phone number, you can easily add it here, and then it will show up in every person's member page and you can access that information at any time. Another thing is that you can add multiple admins to your site, and this is super helpful if you want help managing your site. So I'm going to go back to my contact list and then search the person I'd like to give admin privileges to, then open their profile and edit their admin settings. And now I can choose the privileges of this new admin and give him access to the backend just like I have, or restrictive access instead if I don't want him to have access to everything. Okay, so I hope I'm not going too quickly, but let's move on because we still have a lot to cover. So I want to talk about emails now because this is another area where Wild Apricot can make your life so much easier. So before, you'd write your email probably in Outlook, then you'd go to Excel and copy your email list, then back to Outlook, upload the list, cross your fingers, and then click send, right? So with Wild Apricot, we actually have a fully integrated email platform. So just to quickly show you, I'm going to go to, again in my admin panel, emails, compose email. Now I'm just going to scroll down and choose a template that I like. We also have plain templates if you don't want to have a pre-made template at all, and then click next. And this is where you can write your email just as simply as you do in Outlook or whatever email provider you're using. And you can also edit the template any way you like. Okay, so now we want to send our email after we wrote it, and you don't have to go back to Excel and re-upload your list or anything like that because we've already imported your entire list. And remember that it's always up to date because members can go in anytime and change their own information. Now let's choose which contact list we'd like to send this email to. I mean, I can send it to everybody all at once, and that's fine, but if I click Add Contact List, you can see that I've already set up some different types of lists. Now I can send it to different types of members, so a regular member or premium members only, or to people who attended the last event or the like. So in this way, you can choose who this email is going to very quickly. So just to reiterate, we have a ton of newsletter and email templates to choose from or manipulate however you like. Plus, you can make custom recipient lists to choose which members get those emails. Okay, so another thing that we've built into Wild Apricot is the ability to set up an automatic payment processing system. So right now you might be collecting checks in the mail, cash in person, or bank transfers online, not to mention having to hound your members to collect their yearly dues or registration fees and the like. But with an automatic payment processing system, you won't have to worry about this again. So just to show you how easy this is to set up, I'm going to open up a new web browser where I'm not logged in so you can see what it's like for a member when they have to go through to pay. So right now I've clicked the Join Us page and I'm just going to fill out all the details that it takes to become a new member and click through. I'll just quickly fill everything in. Okay, great. So here you can see that I've already set up PayPal to accept all member payments online. And as soon as they pay, it'll go directly into my PayPal account. So we also support a number of other payment processing systems such as Stripe or IATS and such. And it's very easy to set up on your account in your admin panel as well. You can even set up renewals to bill your members' credit cards automatically every time their fees are due. Okay, so basically whatever payments you were collecting before, you don't have to do that anymore once you set up your payments online. Simply set everything up once and just let it run on its own. You can even set up different membership levels, such as I did, like student, individual, regular, premium, free, whatever you like. Plus you can set up automatic emails to remind your members of upcoming or overdue payments. So let's go back to our mid panel and click on members, then member emails. And here you can see you have a number of options. For instance, under renewal reminders, you can have emails sent out before the renewal date, on the renewal date, or even afterwards to people who haven't renewed on time. So I'm just going to click this day of reminder email to give you an idea of what it looks like. So this email will automatically be sent out to any member on the day of their specific renewal. And everything you see here in curly brackets, for instance, will actually change to refer to a specific user's information. So here, contact underscore full name will actually fill in with the user's name once they receive the email. And you don't actually have to write individual emails for every single member or just a blanket email for every member. This will tailor that email to each specific user automatically. Another thing to mention is that invoices also automatically get sent out and you can prorate payments. And we actually use bank level security protocols to protect all this information. So as you can see, there's quite a lot that Wild Apricot can do for you in terms of collecting payments. And one final thing that I'd like to talk about is how easy your life will become with our event automation. And this is a big thing because events are the most attractive way to gain new members, but they also take a ton of work. When you hold an event, you want to focus on the value you're offering. So like the speaker, the partnerships or whatever, not the admin work like processing registrations, collecting fees, etc. So let me explain how this all works. So I'm going to go back to my website and click on events and then click on the Spring Gala. And this is an event that I have already set up ahead of time. I simply went into the back end, the admin panel, clicked on a button called Create New Event under Events, and then I filled out all the options I wanted, like food preference, if the attendee is bringing a friend, or where they heard about this event, which is actually pretty useful because when I collect this information later, it'll tell me how effective my different marketing channels are. So for instance, if I ran a Facebook ad, how effective was that versus if I ran an ad in the newspaper? So the point is you can make your event page and registration as simple or as customized as you like. Now, all you have to do is promote this page via email, social media, or however you like, and someone can simply come here and sign up. They'll fill out all the required information that you've asked for, give you their contact information if they're not already a member, and then they go through to pay online. And that's it. Now I'm going to go into the back end to show you how quickly you can set up an event. First, click Events, then Create New Event, And here you can start filling out all your options. So let's call this event Annual Board Meeting. And I'll add a quick description. Let's get together to discuss this year's challenges and goals. And you can see how you can easily add more details such as location and date. And next I'm going to click on the registration form. And this is where you can add more fields that you want registrants to fill out on the form. You can see here that we have these common fields so that when someone registers, it'll ask them to input that information. So let's say we want to know people's food preferences, like I added to the Spring Gala event. So first, let's click Add New Field, and then I'll give it a name, Food Preferences. Then click Multiple Choice, and then start entering your options. So chicken, beef, veggie, fish. Then click Done. And now you can see this has been added as a custom field. So when somebody goes to fill out the form, this will appear and they can input their food preference. So let's take a look at our Spring Gala event. I'm going to cancel this event and just go back to my Spring Gala and then go to Registrants. And here I can see that 4 people have already signed up. And if I click on Ben, for instance, you can see how he filled out his form. So here his food preference is chicken, and he's not bringing a friend, and he heard about us through the newspaper. And if you can easily click on each individual person, but a quicker way to do this is you can just download a report that gives you a summary of all event registrants. So if I go back, I can click here, Export Registrants, and now you can see that you have all these different options of the fields you want to export into a summary into Excel. And one final thing I'd like to talk about is this area called Check-in. So at your actual event, you can check in guests as they arrive, and then later on you can see who attended and who didn't attend. But an easier way of doing that than going into the back end and clicking somebody's name and you can see the green arrow pops up, you can actually download our free app, and then when you're at the event, just open up your phone and scroll through the event registrants. And when you tap an event registrant's name, it'll show up as they checked in. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to go over at this point. And I know I went over it pretty quickly, but I just wanted to give you a basic overview of how Wild Apricot can simplify and automate so many of your everyday tasks. So obviously there's so much more that we have to offer, and that's why I want to direct your attention to our help site. So if you go to wildapricot.com and click Online Help here in Help, you will be brought to our help site. And here you can pretty much type in anything you want to find step-by-step walkthroughs and instructions on exactly what you're looking for. So say later on you have a question that you want the answer to immediately, you can just go to our help site and you'll find the answer quickly there. So here you can see that we have this Getting Started section. That's great if you're getting started with Wild Apricot, and I'll just click to show you what it looks like. You can collapse and expand all these different topics, and it takes you through a lot of information on what we have to offer and what you can do with our system specifically. And as I mentioned before, we do have a free app that you can download for Android or iPhone. Okay, so there's time for questions now. So if we haven't been able to answer your question within the chat, we'll address it now and also bring up some of the more common questions that have been coming up. And then again, after this webinar is over, be sure to check your inbox as I'll be sending out slides to everyone and some more information that will help you out with your trial. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to listen to all of this, and I hope it's been helpful, and let's get into answering some questions now.